What happens when you bring together almost 50 educators from 10 different countries, put them in one of Italy's most beautiful cities and give them 5 days to learn, share and grow together? Something pretty special. I'm Francesco Tarantino from the Erasmus Learning Academy, and I want to take you inside what just happened at the very first ELA Educational Days in Bologna. In late January, we welcomed nearly 50 teachers, school leaders and adult education professionals, all coming together around one shared mission, making education and society more inclusive. But this wasn't your typical Erasmus training course. No endless PowerPoint, no sitting and listening for 5 days straight. From day one, we divided the participants into groups based on their educational context. Primary school teacher with primary school teachers, secondary with secondary, adult educator with adult educator. Because the challenge a primary teacher is facing are very different from those running in an adult education center. And that made all the difference. The conversation went deeper. The strategies were more specific. The connections were more meaningful. One of the highlights, the school visit. We took our participants inside real Italian schools and educational centers to see inclusion in action, not just hear about it in theory. They walked through classrooms, they talked with Italian teachers, they observed how Italy's 50 years old inclusion model actually works on the ground every single day. And I can tell you, that's the moment when something shifts. When you see it happening in a real school with real students, it stops being an abstract concept. It becomes something you can bring home. And maybe the most powerful part wasn't even in the training room. It was the conversation over dinner, the ideas exchanged during our walking tour through Bologna Historic Center, the partnership that started forming over a coffee break. Nearly 50 professionals from 10 countries discovering they share the same challenges and realizing they don't have to face them alone. By the last day, that was dedicated to networking and future cooperation, these weren't strangers anymore. They were colleagues, some of them already planning Erasmus Plus job shadowing or KA2 projects together. The first ELA Educational Days exceeded every expectation we had. And honestly, the feedback from participants has been incredible. But don't just take my word for it. Let's listen to somebody that was actually there and what she had to say about the first edition of the ELA Educational Days.
Thank you, Erika, for this interview. So we have a few questions. What do you think is the most useful thing that you have learned this week?
It was very interesting to listen to the theory, but also to visit the schools and observe the way it works out, the Italian model. It was very interesting.
And what did you like the most about this experience?
The sharing of practices amongst each other, not only the Italian model, but all the rest, to pick up what we have in common, what we are doing right, and to build on that.
One last question. If you could describe the ELA Days in 3 words, which words would you use?
ELA Days kept us happily busy. Very informative. We had enough breaks to meet, to talk, to make new connections, and to use for the future. No, it was very well organized and very well managed.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I take the chance to thank all the participants that came in Bologna and make the ELA Educational Days a reality, and all my staff at the Erasmus Learning Academy that make this possible. We are so happy about the results we got with this edition that we are launching a new edition of the ELA Educational Days. I hope to see you there or in one of our future initiatives.